In this Blender tutorial, I'll show you how you can create your own decal normal maps. So we're going to start by modeling this simple sci-fi decal object, and then I'll show you how you can bake the decal to a normal map. And then we'll be applying it to this object here, like this metal cube. So you can see the object doesn't actually have any details because this decal has been added into the materials to look like it's really bumpy. Now, if you're wanting to learn how to bake a regular normal map from a material, then I have a separate video on that, and the workflow is a little bit different. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to bake the details from an object like this sci-fi decal object that I've added. So I'm going to show you how to do this completely free with Blender's built-in tools, and we're not going to be using any Blender add-ons. However, I did want to let you know about a really great Blender add-on for managing and adding decals. With the Decal Master add-on, you can quickly and easily add decals to your 3D models. Once you install the add-on, use the add-on settings on the right side panel to start projecting. Then choose a decal image texture from your computer or use a decal from the provided decal texture pack that comes with the add-on. You can then move, rotate, and scale the decal and simply press the spacebar to stamp the decal onto your model. After placing the decals, you can customize the decal settings like changing the colors, adding wear and scratches, and many more settings. You can find my full add-on review video with the link in the description, and by purchasing through my affiliate link, you'll be helping to support this channel. So here I am in a new scene in Blender, and I'm first going to model a basic sci-fi decal. However, if you've already modeled your own sci-fi decal and you just want to jump to the texture baking part, then you can use the timestamps in the video description and in the YouTube timeline, and you can just jump straight to the texture baking part. And if you'd like to follow along with the tutorial using the exact same 3D model I'm using, you can purchase the project files on my Gumroad store and Patreon page. Links are in the description. But I'll just be modeling a quick decal, so what I'm going to do is delete everything, and I'm just going to add a plane. And I'm going to go into edit mode and I'll add a loop cut there, and then also add a loop cut right there. And then if I hit B for the box select, I'll box select these vertices on the edge and just delete those vertices. So now we just have a quarter of the object. So I'll go here to the modifier settings and let's add a mirror modifier, and I'll mirror it on the X and Y, and then we'll turn on clipping. So I'll now add a loop cut by hitting Control R, and I'll add a loop cut there, and then add another loop cut right here, and then we'll add another loop cut right here. So now if I box select these two vertices, I can drag it back a little bit, and maybe box select these vertices and drag it out a little bit, something like that. So now I'm going to go to the face select, and I'll select these faces, and I'm just going to extrude these faces up. And then if I go to top view, I can scale the faces down and just kind of maybe drag them, maybe even go to the edge select and select this edge and drag it back a little bit so that this bevel here, this edge here, is about an even size. So that's looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is click on add modifier, and I'm going to add a bevel, and let's actually put the bevel, drag it up here and put it above the mirror. And then I can turn up the segments to like a 4, and I can drag the amount down so it's a little bit more smooth. And then also here on the angle, let's turn the angle to 0, and that way it's going to add a bevel to all of these different areas. Now, just for now, I'm going to click on this little monitor icon on the mirror just to hide the mirror so I can just see a quarter of it, and we're going to be adding some more details. So for example, let's just add like a cube, and I can go into edit mode and I'll scale the cube way down. Let's bring it up. Go to top view, and I can just bring it over here and maybe scale it a little bit, and we'll stick it right there. Then I'll hit Control B to have a bevel, and I'll just scroll my mouse wheel till we have maybe like 4 cuts. And I'll just place that right there. And then in the same object's edit mode, I'm going to add a few more objects, and then we'll be adding a Boolean to cut into the mesh. So I'll select this face here, and I'll duplicate it, and let's just scale it way down and squish it down on the x-axis. We'll just maybe stick it right there. Let's zoom into it. We can bring it down, and then we can extrude it down. So extrude that face down right there. We'll hit the L key to select that face, and then hit Control B to add a bevel like that, and maybe bring the entire thing up a little bit. And also if I select everything, I need to hit Shift N to recalculate the normals. And then I'll go to top view, and I'm going to add another object in edit mode. So this time we are going to add a circle. Let's drag the circle here and kind of scale it down. Then if we go to the vertex select, we are going to deselect everything and just box select this side here. And we're just going to bring it out on the y-axis so it's a bit longer. Then if we hit L to select the entire thing, we'll hit F to fill a face. Let's scale it down, bring it over here, and let's go to wireframe. Let's also make this just a little bit longer, and then if I select everything, we'll rotate it by 45 degrees, scale it down, and just stick it right there. And then if we go back to solid view, let's just bring it up a bit, and I can extrude this down, like that, so it's going inside the mesh, and then I'll hit Control B for another bevel. And then if I select everything, we'll recalculate the normals. So now what I want to do is Boolean this object so that it cuts into the other object. But first I'm going to open up the bevel here, and we'll click on the drop down, and we're going to apply it. So now what we're going to do is click on Add Modifier, and we're going to search for Boolean, and we're going to click on the eyedropper here, and we're just going to select this cube object. So now we can just leave the type set to difference, and if we click on the dropdown, we will just apply this. So now if I select this object, let's just hit M, and we're going to move it into a new collection, and I can just call this Boolean, just in case we want to go back to it, and we'll click on Create. So now it's in its own collection, and we're just going to click on this check mark here just to hide it. So now you can see if I go into edit mode, you can see that's been Booleaned into the object, and that has as well. So if I just hold down the Alt key and select that loop of vertices there, and then hold down the Shift and Alt key and select that loop there, we just have all those vertices selected. And also I want to Shift, select that vertice there just to deselect it, so we just have that edge selected. And I'll hit Control B, so Control B is going to add a bevel there. Just place it right there, so that way it'll give some normal data so it looks smooth. And then we'll do the same thing over here, so hold down the Alt key, select that loop, and then hold down the Shift and Alt key and select those loops right there. So I'll hit Control B just to add a bevel. So now what I want to do is hit B for the box select, and we're going to box select those vertices right there, and we're going to extrude them down. And then what we want to do is fill this face here. So let's click on the monitor icon to unhide the mirror, and on the mirror settings, make sure clipping is turned on. So now we are going to select this vertex here, and we're going to extrude it and bring it in so it's in the center there. And then if we shift select these two vertices, we'll hit F to fill a face. Then we're going to hold down the Alt key and select that entire loop there, and then go into wireframe and just make sure if we select that there, make sure all those bottom loops are selected, and we're going to hit F to fill a face there. Then we're going to hit Control B to add a bevel. Then we're going to Alt and select that loop right there, and then Shift select that there so that the top is selected. And we're going to hit Control B again to add another bevel. One more thing that I want to do is just add kind of like a bolt here on the end. So I'm going to go to Top View, and let's add a cylinder. And I'll go into edit mode, and I'll scale the cylinder way down. Back in object mode, let's just bring it over here, and I can just scale it down again, and we're just going to put it here into the corner, and then bring it down on the Z-axis. And then if I go into edit mode, we're going to hold down the Alt key and select that loop there on the top, and I'll hit Control B just to add a bevel, maybe scroll my mouse wheel so it's a little bit more smooth. So now what I want to do is I want to join them together with a Boolean. So if I select the main object again, let's click on Add Modifier, and I'm going to add a Boolean. And then on the Boolean object, we are going to choose the cylinder, but instead of difference is going to cut into the mesh. We're going to change it to union. So that's going to join them together. And then if we click on the drop down, we're going to click on apply. So now if you want to select the extra object, you can hit M to move, and let's just move it here into the Boolean so that we can come back to it if we need it. So now if we go into edit mode, you can see that's been joined together. So now if we hold down the Alt key, select that loop right there, and then let's just Shift and deselect these ones here, and then hold down the Shift key. We're just going to select all of these right there so that we have that bottom part selected. And let's hit Control B just to add a very small bevel, and I can scroll my mouse wheel down so we have just a few cuts, and then place it right there. So we're going to use the object context menu and shade the object smooth. Now one problem is that you can see some of these flat faces don't look super flat, and that's just kind of because of the topology. An easy way we can fix this is by clicking on Add Modifier, and we can search for the weighted normal. So you can see if I just toggle this on and off, the weighted normal is going to flatten those flat faces. So now let's actually bake a normal map. So what I want to do is basically bake it to another flat object. So what I'm going to do is hit Shift-C to center the 3D cursor, and if I go to the Add menu, we can just add a new plane. So you can see the plane is basically the same size, so just create a plane and make it roughly about the same size or maybe slightly bigger than the decal. Now what I want to do is have this plane slightly above the decal. So if I hit 1 to go to front view, let's zoom in, we'll hit G and then bring it up on the Z-axis and just make it very slightly above the decal. So let's now click over here to go to the shading workspace, and I'm going to select the flat plane, because we're going to be baking to the flat plane. So I'll click on New to add a new material on the flat plane, and then I'm going to add an image texture that we can bake onto. So I'll go to the Add menu, and I'm going to search for image, and we're going to add an image texture. Let's click on New to create a new image texture. Now on the name here, I can call it like Sci-fi Decal Normal, because it's going to be a normal map. Here on the width and height, this is going to be a 1K texture. I want to make it a 4K texture, so the standard resolution for 4K is 4000 4096 by 4096. So you can punch that in there, and then it's going to be overriding the color, so it doesn't even matter what the color is. But I am going to turn on the 32-bit float because I find whenever you're baking like a bump map or a normal map, it looks a lot higher quality if you turn on the 32-bit float and then click on New Image. Now what's really important is that we change the color space here to non-color. So before you bake it, change the color space to non-color because any texture which isn't contributing to the base color should be set to non-color. So now what we need to do is make sure the plane is properly UV unwrapped. Now the primitive objects in Blender are already UV unwrapped, so if I just click here to go to the UV editing, and let's just zoom in here and select everything, you can see it is UV unwrapped. If you need to unwrap it, you can just click on U and just do the unwrap angle based, and that will be just fine. So the plane is already unwrapped, so we'll go back here to the shading. So now to bake this, we need to go to the bake settings. So let's click here on the render properties, and we need to use the Cycles rendering engine because Eevee doesn't support baking. So if you are using Blender Eevee, you'll just need to switch to Cycles. You can do the texture baking, and then once you're finished, you can switch back to Eevee. Now here in Cycles, I want to turn the samples down to just 1 here on the render samples. And so that way it'll bake faster because it does use the samples when it's baking, but all we need is just 1 sample. So now what we can do is we can open up the bake. So if you go right down here, we'll open up the bake settings. And what we want to do is we want to click on the bake type, and we want to change this to normal because we're going to be baking a normal map. But what we want to do is we want to turn on the selected to active because we are actually baking the 3D details from this object onto the flat plane. So that's why we want to turn on the selected to active. So basically what this means is we are going to select the decal first, and then we're going to hold down the shift key and select the plane last. And so the selected to active means that whatever we selected last, that's what the other objects are going to bake to. Now there is an extrusion value, and so if you find that the bake doesn't work correctly, you could try changing this extrusion value. You could maybe turn it to a 0.1 or a 0.2 and just play around with it. But I find for something like this, you don't actually need to turn up the extrusion value at all. It works fine just leaving it at 0. Now I want to be able to see this when it's finished baking, so I'm going to click here in the corner and drag down to split the window. And then if I click right here to change the editor type, I'm going to change this to the image editor. And then if we click here, we're going to choose the sci-fi decal normal. And then let's also save our project. That's very important just in case it crashes when you're baking. So click on file and save your project. So then to actually bake this, you first want to select the decal, and then you want to hold down the shift key and select the plane last. Then it's also very important that you have this image texture selected, so make sure it has the white outline, because if it's not selected, Blender won't know where to bake the textures. So then we have the bake type set to normal, the selected to active on. I'm going to save my project, and then I'll click on the bake button. And it shouldn't take too long. It's just a 4K texture with 1 sample, and you can see it's already finished. And that looks correct. If it has really weird colors like yellow colors or green colors, then something went wrong with the baking. But you can see this just has the blue colors and the pink and the purple, so that looks great. So the different colors here are normal data to tell it which direction the different faces are pointing. Now again, as I talked about earlier, if for some reason something looks wrong with the bake, like there's some weird colors or some dark areas, you might want to try changing this extrusion value, or you might want to try moving the plane around slightly, moving it a little bit farther down or a little bit up, but this worked fine. So I'm going to click on image, and I'm going to click on save as. I'm going to save this as sci-fi decal normal. Now you could save it as a PNG so it's the highest quality, but this will also make it a pretty large file size. If you wanted to make it a smaller file size, you could change it to JPEG, and then you could turn down the quality here. However, if you make the file size too low and kind of compress the quality, you might start to see a few artifacts or glitches in the render, so I'm just going to keep it as PNG. And then I'll click on save as image. So I've just saved that in the folder with my project. So I'll just hit Control S to save. So now that I've saved this project, I'm just going to click on File, and I'm going to click on New, and we're just going to open up a new general in Blender. So in a new scene in Blender, I'm just going to select the lamp and drag it down here because we're going to use it to kind of take a look at the reflections. And now let's select our cube here, and we'll go here to the shading. So we now have a new material on this cube, and let's go into the material preview so we can see the cube. So what I'm going to do is make it metal, and then I'm also going to make the base color kind of like a grayish color so we can kind of see the decal better. And then also let's click here on the shading dropdown, and I'm just going to click on scene lights. So it's going to use the scene lights here. So even though we're in the material preview, it'll still use the lights. So now I just need to add the decal in. So I'm going to hit Shift A. We're going to search for image texture and just drop it here. And then let's just click on open to open an image. And I'm just going to locate to my project files. Here is the sci-fi decal normal, and I'll click on this and then just click on open image. Now, because this is a normal map and we baked it with non-color, we want the color space to be set to a non-color. Then what we want to do is search for a normal map. So we're going to add the normal map, and this way we're going to put the normal into the color, and then that'll convert it to normal data, and the normal can go into the normal of the principled shader. So you can see here on the cube, it already looks like we modeled some sci-fi details onto the cube. Now the problem is that it's way too big. So let's click over here to go to the UV editing workspace, and let's zoom into the cube and go to the material preview. And if we just select everything here in the UV editor, we can scale the UVs. So let's just scale it up and drag it like over here. Now the problem is that it's going all over the place, so it's repeating itself. Now if you created a cool sci-fi decal, maybe you created some decals and you want to like put them on a hull of a spaceship or something, you could just have it repeating itself like that. That might look pretty cool, but I don't want to do this. So I'm going to click back here to go to the shading workspace, and I'm going to click on this repeat type here, and I'm going to change this to extend. So by changing it to extend, it's going to take the very end of the texture and it's just going to extend it farther. So that way you can just see one of those sci-fi decals. So now if I go back here to the UV editor, I can scale this, I can rotate it, and I can just move it wherever I want. So now I can go back here to the shading workspace. So now if I just move the lamp around to kind of look at the reflections, we have this really cool sci-fi decal on the object. And you can of course change the strength if you want to make it pop out more or just make it more subtle. You can change the strength of the normal map. Now I did mention Decal Master at the starting of this video, and Decal Master is a really great way to quickly add decals to your models. So what I'm going to do is just select these two nodes and just delete them, and let's go back here to the layout. I'm going to hit the N key to open up the side panel, and I'm going to click right here on Decal Master, so Decal Master. And if you want to check out my add-on review video, I'll have a link in the video description, and I also have an affiliate link to the product. So if you want to purchase the product, you can find the product link in the description. So I'm just going to show you how to add the decal with Decal Master. So we're going to click on Add DCL Setup, and then we're going to click on this N button here, and this is going to make sure it uses a normal map. Then we're going to click on Start Projecting. So Decal Master already comes with a bunch of decals, but what I'm going to do is hit the F key to import a decal. So that will bring up Blender's file browser. I'm just going to select this one and then click on Import Decal. So you can see there is the decal, and now I can just move it around. Let's just kind of place it right here. Maybe I can go to front view, and I can hit S to scale, I can move it around, and I can hit R to rotate, and then I can hit the space bar to add the decal. I can go to top view, hit the space bar just to place the decal. So Decal Master is an amazing Blender add-on for quickly adding decals. So now what I can do is hit the escape key, and let's go into the rendered viewport mode, and I can click on this little button right here to open the materials panel, and you can see the add-on has added this little node here, and so it's added all the decals and added it to the materials. And then there's also a bunch of different settings, like you can just manually change the location, or you can change the scale of the decals. You can also click here to manage all your decals. You can also delete decals if you want to, and you can also change some of the settings, like you can add a custom color here. So I could change the custom color of the decal so I can make it like a blue. I could change the metallic value so I can make it more and less metallic, and I can also change the roughness. So the add-on is really customizable because it has so many settings to customize each decal. So I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching. And if you'd like to learn more about texture baking, then I do have a texture baking playlist. I have different tutorials on how to bake color maps, roughness maps, metallic maps, emission maps, and also a tutorial on texture baking for beginners, also a video on how to texture bake procedural materials in Blender. I also have some Blender add-on review videos where I review some baking add-ons, which can speed up the baking process and make texture baking so much easier. So all the links are in the description. So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you for watching.